now we're going to talk about the explicit formula for an arithmetic sequence. Now remember, the recursive formula involves knowing a piece or one element of the particular arithmetic sequence, as well as then the common difference. So if we use the same thing from last time, that would be that. This would be the starting value, and then that the constant difference, which means the recursive formula would be a sub 1 equals 5, and a sub n equals a sub n plus 1 equals a sub n plus 3. The big drawback here is for the recursive formula, we would need to calculate a sub n to figure out a sub n plus 1, which basically means in order to figure out, let's say, what the 20th term is, we'd have to do all 19 terms before it. So let's try a different way. We know that, and we're going to use that same formula, same sequence as an example, that this is a way of modeling our sequence. That is term number, and then what the value of the term is. Now, further down the road, we know that there's the nth term, and we know that there's the value of the nth term, a sub n. Now, looking at this, because when we assign that term value, the term place to that, it means we're really looking at a linear equation. So if you pick any 2 points, you could write a linear equation. Now, that being said, because we know what the difference is, and that's adding 3, and because this is an arithmetic sequence, in fact, any sequence, we know the number of the term is always going up by 1. The difference is the same as the slope, which means if I wanted to write an equation that represented a sub n, that is the nth term, like maybe the 20th or the 30th term, I could write it in some way. Now, our variable is n, not x, and a sub n, not y. But if you want to, you can think of these like x and y. So a sub n would equal, well, we're doing 3 times n, just like 3x, right? That's how the slope goes, plus then the y-intercept. Now this is where it gets a bit tricky. The y-intercept occurs when the x value is 0. In other words, it's not when n equals 1, it's when n equals 0. Now that's not something that actually exists, but if you work the pattern backwards, that is adding 3 one way means subtracting 3 the other. It means that in this case, y-intercept, though it's not really y-intercept because we're not graphing it, but that start value when a for a sub 0 would be equal to that. So that would be the general form for in the explicit formula of an arithmetic sequence.